So Trish, with regards to this Women's Wellness Week, what does it take to be a woman?
I feel confidence.
Considering you are so into nutrition, where was it that you thought, wow, nutrition is what I want to get into, it's something I want to talk to people about? What sparked this on?
So that was when I had my first baby. So I have 3 children, so I am a mum of 3.
Because if you're not confident in your own body and you can't accept yourself for who you are, I feel like you really struggle with identity issues.
So Lizzie, what does global women's health mean to you, or why do you think it's important?
I think global women's health is really important because every woman and every girl has the right to safe healthcare worldwide.
And when I had my children and my daughter was becoming a little bit ill, her tummy was hurting.
We're very lucky in the UK with having good access and good training, but not all women and girls have that across the world. So it's really important that we all advocate for that and we all kind of champion women's rights to safe healthcare.
Then I really realized that I need to learn so much more about nutrition. And I started working with breastfeeding moms, so people who were pregnant and they were lactating, and I noticed I don't have enough information to support their breastfeeding.
So Jo, obviously this week was a really good start, but what do you think is going to happen long term? Do you think people will just forget about what's being said? Do you think people need to keep going with it?
Yeah,
do you think schools need to enforce it?
I think the school needs to enforce it. So I think we need better sex ed and from a younger age.
And it was so powerful and so inspiring and transformed my children's health as well. And I really realized that nutrition is really at the core of everything.
What would you say really came across as a big highlight?
Anything to do with the female anatomy, there's so much shame associated with it, with sex or anything to do with, women. And I think that's such a shame because it needs to be completely normal. And in future, in an ideal world, we could be talking about it completely normally without anyone cringing at certain words. So I think for me that stood out.
So John, what does, as a man obviously practicing in the gynae and obs field, what does women's wellness mean to you?
So first of all, I think it's probably not actually that big a deal that I'm a man. It's like, it's just to me another part of medicine, and whether we're treating women or men, it's like all the same. So, I think that's my first point.
Previously you mentioned how good fats were.
Yes.
And how obviously sugars were so bad for us. What do you think needs to happen in food stores and supermarkets that people know?
Oh, that's an amazing question. Yes.
But I have always felt like I want to support women's health. And I think that's because women, especially abroad, kind of suffer just from some of the things we mentioned in the talk today. They suffer this burden of ill health just by virtue of being women and needing to go through childbirth.
I would love for sugar to be banned. I don't think that tax is enough. It's almost like going to a supermarket and saying you can have your plastic bag but you pay 5p for it. People still get the plastic bag.
I mean, our school is really great in doing this week because some people don't have that relationship with their parents where they can talk openly about any issues they may have or whether, everything is normal with their bodies, and any worries that they wanted to discuss, they could really, bring forth in just this week.
But I've seen massive changes to people's health when they don't have sugar. And another thing that I notice is that a lot of schools, so for instance in my children's school, if there's a party or if there's a fair, you go to the school and the school is literally drowning in sweets, and I think that should not be encouraged at all.